reading Beatrix Potter's version of Little Red Riding Hood, Part 2. Hey ho, said the wolf, stretching himself. I may as well go too and see her. I've nothing else to do. I'll go by the cart road along the side of the wood, and you shall follow the footpath over the little bridge. Let us try which road is shortest. Oh no. The wolf went up the cart road, lippity-lippity slouching along, but as soon as he had turned a bend of the fence and was hidden by the trees, he laid out his legs and he ran. The little girl loitered near the gate. She climbed on a railing to gather nuts. Then she wandered along a footpath over the meadow, picking wildflowers as she went. She made a posy for her grandmother. And where the footpath climbed the brae, beyond the plank bridge, there were little scarlet white wild strawberries among the grass, as red as holly berries, as red as the hood of Little Red Riding Hood. She gathered them in a dock leaf and put them in her basket. I love that picture. At last she reached the high road, and at last she stepped out faster, but the golden sunshine was very low, and her shadows were long and slanting before she passed the mill. Nobody saw her pass. It's getting dark. Very dark. The wolf had run with all his might along the shorter way. When he came in sight of the mill, he jumped over a ditch and hedge above the road and landed on the hillside. He slunk along amongst the ferns and boulders. He came down at the farther end of the village, behind the old woman's cottage. Through a broken wall and round the woodshed, he slipped between the cabbages and pea sticks. His wicked eyes winked at the sun as he stood in the porch under the honeysuckle. He knocked at the door, tap, 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 very softly with the pad of his foot. Who's there? It's your Little Red Riding Hood, Granny, said the wolf in a mincing voice. I've brought you a tea cake and a little pat of butter. The poor old grandmother, who lay ill in bed, called out, Pull the bobbin and the latch will go up. The wolf pulled, the door opened, he crept in. And then he made a great spring over the foot of the bed. The wolf was very hungry. He'd had no food for 3 days. In a little less than no time, there was nothing left at all of Red Riding Hood's grandmother. When the wolf had finished, he still felt a little hungry. He shut the door, put on the poor old woman's nightcap and bed jacket, and he got into bed. He hid under the blankets, pulling the quilt up to his eyes, and he waited for Red Riding Hood. After a while, someone tapped at the door. Rat, tap, tap. Who is there? Said the wolf from the bed. Red Riding Hood was surprised to hear such a rough, deep voice. But she thought that her grandmother must be hoarse with a cold, so she answered, It is I, Granny, Little Red Riding Hood. My mother has sent you a tea cake and a little pat of butter. The wolf made his voice as small as he could and said, Pull the bobbin, the latch will go up. Red Riding Hood pulled and the door opened. The wolf crouched down under the bedclothes, said he in his hoarse deep voice, Put the tea cake and the butter on the dresser, take off your shoes and sit beside me on the bed. Little Red Riding Hood took off her little muddy shoes. She scrambled up onto the bed to kiss her granny, but she was very much surprised when a thing that she thought was her grandmother pushed back the quilt and blanket and sat up. What big, strong, hairy arms you have got, Granny, said Red Riding Hood. You're better to hug you, my dear. What big hairy ears under your nightcap. You're better to hear you, little granddaughter. But Granny, your eyes have turned yellow. You're better to see you, my pretty. But Granny, Granny, what big white teeth. And that was the end of Little Red Riding Hood. And I just found that really funny when I read this book. It's just such a stark, sudden ending. It's kind of I don't know what a child would think of that. This is Beatrix Potter's retelling, and it's like a dark retelling, because in some of the versions, obviously, you have the whole opening up of the wolf and, the restoration of Granny and everything, but this one kind of leaves that open, I guess, to the imagination. I mean, the wolf is very fat now, and he's being chased by the woodcutters, so I suppose we could deduce the ending from that. As you can see, very fat. He can't run very fast because he's very, very fat. Those woodcutters are going to get him in no time. So maybe there will be some, some positive to come out of that, you could say. But still, it's rather dark. And that is the book. So, yeah, thank you for watching, and let me know what you think. If you enjoyed that telling of the tale, if any of you like reading kids' books and enjoying the pictures and everything, let me know. So I will be doing those other videos in due course. It might take me a little bit of time because I've got loads of stuff to cover, but thanks for watching.